Okay, so boundary setting. So I'm really, really passionate about boundary setting, and it's something that comes up in coaching a lot. And so I really hope that you might get something for yourself from this this session, and also be able to help those that you're supporting around setting boundaries. These are some of the challenges that I hear in coaching sessions in respect to boundaries. So things like checking emails in evenings and weekends, so feeling like you're not switching off, spending a lot of time supporting others with the latest crisis and not having time to do your own stuff, always being in meetings, and particularly those back-to-back, like I run from one meeting to the other and I don't have any time to even, go to the bathroom. Maybe something about not being able to go to a class. They like to do outside activities, but it feels really difficult because of other commitments, working too many hours and not knowing how to reduce them, and just finding it hard to say no, because being caring people and wanting to help others, so that instinct is to just say yes to things. I'd love it if you pop in the chat which of these resonate, or are there other kind of boundary challenges that you face? What kind of boundary challenges are you experiencing day to day? And how these are big boundary changes by the time it's taking to come through. So Emma's saying, yeah, the one in always being in meetings. Yeah, being a carer when the caring role eats into lots of other time. Gavin's got all of them. Greedy there with your boundaries challenges. And yeah, what else have we got? Sucked into corridor conversations, managing my time when I need to support others, oversharing, so boundaries around information. Yeah, being able to switch off and feeling guilty when I do. Yeah. And people are coming to you wanting the answers to things, and you might, having a boundary around how much you tell people and what approach you take. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm in the right ballpark. When it comes to hours and time, I've developed this model because this really kind of felt like it was at the nub of a lot of the challenges that people were facing, was that the amount that we care is infinite, really. The amount that we care is never ending, but the amount that you are able to give is less than that. So the total amount you're able to give to others and yourself is less than that. The amount that you're able to give to others and still be okay, you'll keep yourself okay, is again smaller again. And then inside that as well, you've got your contracted hours. And what I see happening a lot is the amount of hours that people give to work, can get close to that line. So it goes beyond contracted hours and gets into the, getting close to that, the amount that feels okay. And then it can grow even more. So the amount of hours that you give to work can grow beyond that, and you're getting closer to the total amount that you can give to anyone, including yourself. And so I think it's really hard, isn't it, when someone says to you, can you do this thing? And the true answer is, yes, I could do that thing, but the impact would be this. But our minds kind of say, well, yeah, you are able to do this thing. Whether you actually want to do it, whether it would have a negative impact on you, is a total other thing. And I think often we instinctively go to this, yes, I've still got something left to give, so I'll give it to you because that's the type of person I am. And we find ourselves in a place of giving and giving and giving and not able to create that line. And unfortunately, we are the only ones who really know what that line is. So other people will take and take and take, and not that they're being, you know, mean in their taking. They don't know how close to the limit we are. They'll take and take and take, and it's kind of like never ending, the amount that you could give to others. But it's us that need to define and set the line. Otherwise we can, it's like it just expands and expands and expands, and our giving goes beyond being able to give to others and be okay ourselves. So that's, yeah, I didn't know if that model might be helpful in some way. And I guess, you know, that links to, why is this so hard? Why is it hard to set boundaries? Because when I'm working with people one-to-one, it's definitely like, this isn't an easy thing to do. This is changing a lot of habitual behavior. And underneath that can be a variety of things. So some people, you know, might not feel that they're enough. And so they're linking their self-worth with what they do for others. And it's just never enough. Some people can't imagine that it could be any different. You know, we all talk about how busy things are, and even imagining, you know, a life where actually we're able to set boundaries and those boundaries are respected can feel quite alien. Others might be scared of rejection. So worried if they say no to something, what the impact on the relationship might be. There might be kind of some social norms in your organization where, you know, people who seem to say that yes a lot seem to be the ones that get promoted. So, you know, do I need to keep doing that in order to be successful in my career? It might be, like I say, that you care, and that care just feels limitless, and you haven't learned how you can care for others and care for yourself. This one comes up a lot because we feel guilty when we put ourselves first. Again, we've been taught that, you know, the right thing to do is to be selfless, and to it's selfish to put yourself first. But actually the reality is, you know, the whole put your oxygen mask on first, you know, it's absolutely okay. It's the thing to do. If you want to help others, you need to be able to give to others. So you need to be able to look after yourself first. And there are some of us that feel responsible for making other people happy. So the impact of, you know, saying no to someone and them, you know, not liking us or being upset feels too much for us. But this is all part of the human condition. It's really, really normal. If boundary setting feels difficult for you, it really is part of being human. And, you know, one of the coaching questions that I love around boundary setting, if I'm working with someone around burnout, is, you know, if I could wave a magic wand and create a rule that prevent you from burning out, what would it be? And that can bring up just some really interesting stuff around, you know, what is it that's getting in the way? What is the rule that would really help? And then we can look at chunking that down and looking at what that says about some of the changes that they might need to make to the way that they're working or being with others. And here are some of kind of my favorite coaching questions around boundary setting. In what ways are you giving beyond what you have to give? What drives your current behavior? Because often you're doing the current behavior because it has some benefit. So understanding the benefit behind it and then looking at what the costs are can be really helpful. So asking, you know, what is the long-term impact of that behavior? If you keep doing that behavior over and over again, what's going to happen in the long term? And then my magic wand question, and this is turned out the other way. So instead of preventing burnout, this is about enable you to increase your health and happiness. And this idea of rules as well. So again, you know, for me, I find the idea of actually setting a rule, the connotations can be quite like, oh, I don't really like rules. But actually, I really believe we're not taught to set our own rules. We're taught from a very young age to accept the rules of others and haven't been empowered to set our own rules. And I do think there's something quite empowering, again, about identifying, there's a rule, and maybe it's a rule about a relationship with someone else, maybe it's a rule about your relationship with work, but often these rules start with a rule that you have with yourself, which might be about, I don't check my work emails after 6 o'clock at night. And that is absolutely in my control. That is absolutely about me holding a rule with myself. And often what we find with boundary setting, and it's that behavior with yourself is the starting point, rather than conversations with other people. So I love this question, but what advice would you give a colleague or friend who's in the same situation? It is often so much easier to come up with boundary solutions with somebody else than it is with ourselves. What have you tried before that was helpful? So often we've tried to hold boundaries and we've experimented before, and then something's happened and we've gone back to our old ways, but that actual boundary that we held before did actually work for us. This one taps into how we want to influence the people around us, the type of role model that we want to be. So sometimes, how would you like to be that's going to be that positive role model? How do you want to show what's possible for others? Because we often do that when we hold boundaries ourselves. And obviously, I love a small change. So what small change could you make that would help you to give, both give to yourself and to give to others? And what can you do right now to increase the chance of that thing happening? So again, getting somebody to that really kind of definitive action that they're going to take away. I also believe that boundary setting should not be an individual sport. I really think that boundary setting should be a team sport. It should be something that leaders talk about with their teams regularly, because I think when you put it just on the shoulders of the individual, it's a lot of pressure for you to hold that boundary yourself. It's so much easier to hold a boundary when you're doing it collectively with other people, whether that's, in a family team, a family unit, or in the workplace. And I really encourage people to have conversations with others about how we can keep ourselves well collectively by identifying, team rules, team practices, or group practices that are going to really help us to look after ourselves, and hold each other accountable and support each other with those rules. I think if you're a lone person that's trying to hold a boundary, it can be really, really challenging. So the more people that you've got willing to do that, it's like in organizations, several people have said about, with the whole Teams culture, and have tried to introduce reducing meetings to 50 minutes or 25 minutes so that you have breaks. But that takes a certain mass, doesn't it? And it takes people to sign up to that and agree to it. It's very hard to do that just you on your own. And so I think the more that we talk about boundaries and the more that we talk about kind of these rules that help us to help others and ourselves, the more that we are going to increase the likelihood of those things happening. Oh, so that's my general thoughts on boundary setting. And obviously you'll get those slides and those coaching questions. They'll be sent out to you, and you can download them from the website as well. So let's have a little bit of a demo. Are you ready, Hermione? Okay, so how might this look in practice? Okay. Oh. So, Hermione, tell me what you would like to be different.
Oh, okay. Open-ended question. In terms of boundaries, I've recently finished a 3-year degree where I lost all sense of boundaries. Obviously, I didn't have any contracted hours. I had lots of deadlines, and everything just kind of merged into one thing. But it's only in hindsight, really, I look back and realize how much I kind of lost sense of my own boundaries, and how I lost a lot of the things that kind of keep me going. Like I need my me time, I need my space, I need time with my child. So I'm kind of trying to get all those things back on track. But I'm starting a new job in September, which I'm very excited about. And I want to continually develop myself. I want to keep doing research with the university and things like that. And I am very much a yes person. I say yes because I want to, and I say yes because I think I've got the time. But I'm worried that I'm going to get into that mindset again, where I'm just constantly doing, and yeah, I don't know where to go with it.
Yeah. So if you were able to go back in time and talk to yourself before you started the degree and you got to that kind of unboundaried place, what advice might you give yourself before you got into that degree? Is there anything that you would say, oh, I'd really recommend you do this so that you don't get to that?
Yes. Scheduling time for yourself. I think one of the problems I had when I tried to do that. I always think, oh no, I must make time. I'd give myself time. But then when I had that time, I felt guilty for having that time and that I should be doing something else. Or if I was free, then I had the capacity to possibly say yes to something else that added something else in. Do you know what I mean? So it's that saying no, problems with saying no as well to things, because where I want to develop, where new things keep coming up, I'm yesing all over the place.
And what is the impact, the long-term impact of yesing?
I feel, I say not burnt out, but that I have nothing left for myself. I'm saying yes, there are benefits to me saying yes, but actually the negative impact of always saying yes is that, well, I just lose that time for me. I feel that if I say no, I'm losing out on opportunities, the negative connotations that come with saying no as well, especially as I'm sort of starting out. I want to make connections, I want to develop, I want to say yes, but also I need to protect my time so I can keep doing those things.
And are there any negatives to the other person of you saying yes a lot? Because I know you want to keep that connection with them, but do they experience any negatives when you're getting to that place of having nothing left?
Yeah, definitely. If I'm feeling mentally fatigued from it all, if I'm almost going through the motions of doing something and not having that energy, then I'm not giving my full time. I'm not giving my all. So yeah, no, absolutely. I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah. I'm not giving all of me.
Well, I guess you are kind of in a kind of like an energetic way, but maybe not the best version of you in all occasions.
Yeah, because I think where I'm saying yes to lots of things, I'm spreading myself, and I feel, again, like with the schedule, I'm doing things all over. Do you know what I mean? I'm just constantly right. So that I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that. There isn't just one thing that I'm sort of working towards. So it's trying to, I don't know, keep keep all of those in their own little boundaries and keep my own boundary around those as well. But it's hard, isn't it, to switch off from all of those things.
Yeah, and it is great, isn't it, to be enthusiastic about a lot of stuff and be passionate and want to get involved with lots of things. That's a really positive way to be. When you said earlier that what ended up happening is you had less time for you, what are you missing out on? So what would you have done with that time if you'd had more time for you?
Spending time with my daughter. So constant parent guilt there, no matter if you do or you don't. And just like I said, I need time for me, whether it's sort of going for a walk, reading a book, listening to music, just sometimes doing nothing, But then the guilt comes in. You should be doing something. You should.
Yeah. So looking ahead, you've got a bit of time, haven't you, until that job starts. What I guess, boundaries or rules could you put in place at the start that are going to at least hold you back a little bit from that full-on yesing, spreading?
I think possibly I can still be that yes person, but possibly yes, but not right now. Yes. Yes, I'm very much, but can I do that then? And just being very honest. I think you can still be enthusiastic and passionate and all those things. You can still be supportive, but at what cost does it have on me?
Yeah.
I think just maybe pausing before the yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always have to be no, does it?
No. And I think that piece that you connected with earlier around you being able to show up as your best self as well, it's that there's an honesty, isn't there, in I might not be able to do that now. I can do it later, and then you're going to get a better outcome from me, knowing that as a truth.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's something practical that you could, if you carve out a little bit of time now to do that planning and preparation, what are you going to spend that time doing?
What, for my me time?
Yeah.
Wow. That's probably a list for another day. But I think I need to schedule that. It's very easy at the moment where I am at home. If I have got that free time, I can fill it with doing the adulting and the life admin. And it's actually, make a point of timetabling that time for me as well, and not feeling guilty, taking that, that as part of my day, what keeps me going. Yeah, switching off from technology, walking away, walking outside. Small little things, I think.
Yeah. So does that feel like something that you can go away and do a bit of that scheduling, looking at what your schedule is going to be and booking some stuff in?
I'm going to try. Definitely.
Try.
I will. I shall. I must.
When will you do that by, Hermione?
So I know I've got a couple of busy days coming up, but I'm actually going away for a few days next week. So that is the perfect opportunity for me to do a reset, I think.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Hazel.
Okay, I will stop the recording now, if I can find the button.